Hey guys,
Hey
so
guys,
I am
so I
remote
am
and my
remote and my
head is every which way,
is every which way.
but
It's okay.
that's
Nobody's
okay.
looking.
That's okay.
Got it, got it there.
Black History
Ah,
Month still,
so
and
I
I'm
am in
talking to
Orlando. A little bit
Dr.
about
Alvin Jackson, who's the city
um,
manager. We're just
Black
going to talk
History
a
Month
little bit about
and how excited
um,
we
Black
are.
History Month and how
It is the
excited we
last
are.
Sunday for Black History,
It is the last
but
Sunday
every day
for
is
Black
Black
History,
History,
but every day
and
is Black History,
I'm just
and
going to talk about that and some
I'm just going to talk
positives.
about that and
Looking
some
for my pen,
positives. Looking for my pen.
wherever it went to. So Alvin,
So
we're just
Alvin, we're
gonna
just
just
gonna
talk some
just talk some
positive stuff,
positive stuff,
okay?
okay?
Of
About
course.
About
growing
growing
up, who
up,
your
who your
heroes
heroes
are, just some
are, just some
candid
candid
stuff,
stuff.
okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
I
one
can
thing
hardly
though.
hear
Are
him. I don't
you
know
I
if
don't
it's
know if it's
me.
me.
Let me look and
um
see if I need
See if
to.
I need to.
Hold on.
Hold on.
All right,
All
that
right,
might
that
work.
might work.
okay, can you hear us?
Yes, I
Yes, I
can.
can.
All
Okay.
right,
All right.
so
So
we can
we can
start whenever
start
you want to
whenever you
start.
want to start.
Okay, and I'll use the chat, I guess, to for the breaks to
Yes, I'll
signal
be
you.
Yes, I'll
looking
be
for the
looking
chat.
for the chat.
Okay. All right, we'll get started.
All right,
All
that
right,
works.
that works.
Welcome to Today
Welcome
with
to Today
Pastor
with Pastor
J.
J.
It is a
It is a
wonderful
wonderful
day, a
day, a
great
great
day, and it
day,
is
and it is
still a
still a
black day
black day
because I'm
because I'm
celebrating Black
celebrating
History
Black
Month.
History Month.
And I have
And I
my
have my
wonderful
wonderful
friend
friend
in the
in the
studio,
studio,
Dr.
Dr.
Alvin
Alvin
Jackson.
Jackson.
Are you there?
Are you there?
I'm here. Happy to be here,
Oh,
Pastor
you're in
J.
the
You're in the
studio and
studio
I'm in
and I'm in
Orlando, but we're
Orlando,
going to
but
make
we're
this
gonna
work.
make
Awesome.
What do you think about that song? Black. Thank God I'm black. I won't take it back. Proud to be
proud to
black.
be
Are you
black.
are you proud to be black?
Yes, I am very proud to be black, and I'm proud of my heritage. Everyone that has been a part of my life, and I truly had the what I call the black experience growing up in a church family where my father was the bishop. And I tell you, when you talk about the patriarchy and the stories and the uh, experiences of being a part of a black family, I've experienced it and just very proud of every moment. And I would not be where I am today if it had not been for the experience of my family, and most definitely it was a black family and a black experience in every way.
Mm. So let's talk about the church because you're obviously a PK. uh, you are a PK, preacher kid, growing up in that type of environment. What kind of effect do you think it had on you?
Uh, well, I think it had a very positive effect, especially with me being in the public service business and working with people, around people. Uh, it helped you really understand how to accept people for who they are, regardless of what their race, their origins, of beginnings, where they're from. It's about loving, it's about caring, it's about respecting individuals, just really following the basic principles that I've been taught in the scriptures, which represented the life of Jesus and how he treated men and women. And so for me, that uh, was very much key about helping those that were less fortunate, basically living a life of humility, uh, sharing that we had, and being very positive, looking at our challenges, be it small or large, but seeing that we could overcome them and that we could be successful, and that me as a black male, uh, uh, I felt very good about myself, and I felt and was taught that I was equal to anyone else because I'm a human being.
When you speak of the Black experience, what do you mean by that? Because you talked about you grew up Black in a church, Black home, Black family, and you had the ultimate Black experience. So, what do you mean by that?
It, you know, basically, I grew up in uh, Lake County. Uh,
Mm,
it was doing some, very uncomfortable times, and of course, you know that black people during those time had their so-called place, and certain places you could be, certain places you couldn't be, certain people you could talk to. I was extremely fortunate that schools were being integrated during the time that I started school. But basically, those prejudices and uncomfortabilities were there. But when I got home, basically it was very grounding, and the
mm,
grounding piece was that I still could be the best, very best person I could be, and that I was truly somebody, and that I was could excel just like anyone else, no matter what their color was, and that people will always talk about you. They will call you names, but you had to always know who you were, and that was actually taught in my household, and it wasn't so much on the negative that was outside of that, but it was the positive aspects, being caring about people, loving, forgiving, helpful, uh, and when those opportunities came to display that, it didn't make any difference what your race or your origin of location, or your economic status. And so, of course, my family was, now that I know that we were poor, but I thought we were very wealthy. Um, Basically, the
Now, what do
church
you mean by poor? Because you're
economic,
right. When
economically, we did not, uh, probably did not, and the reason why I say probably, because I can look back when I was growing up, I didn't realize the the level of poverty we were living
mm,
in, because I had a roof over my head. I was
yeah,
being
those were
provided.
not. And look, that's what we thought of as being poor because we were happy, you know.
Well,
We were
we were,
excited about having family.
yeah, family, and being in the
Hmm.
church, basically, and with my father being a bishop, there were individuals that were in and out of our house. They were from Africa, Asia, Japan, Haiti, Canada, and plus I had this extended church family of friends and families throughout, the southeast, and it was a beautiful experience. We traveled a lot. I got a chance, and so when I
That don't
talk
sound
about,
poor to me, Dr. Jackson.
that's what I was about
Maybe
to
that's
say,
poor to
but
somebody else's standards.
that's what I say when I look back.
Hmm.
Economically, we may not have been equal to other families, but man, I
You
had
were rich in
such a
other
rich,
things.
rich
Hmm.
experience.
Nice.
In and out of the country, and spending, not, and these weren't vacation necessarily days, but basically going to on mission and being a part of the community, participating in ministry. That could be feeding the hungry, that could be ministering to the sick, building churches, building individual homes, uh, taking shoes to Haiti. So for me, it was a very rich experience, and
Very nice.
to this day, I really am indebted to my parents for such a rich experience.
Let's talk
Let's
a
talk.
little bit about discrimination because I know um, I didn't even realize I was being discriminated against until I was talking to someone. I said, well, no, I've never been discriminated against. And then in the next sentence, I'd say something like, but had I not been black or if I was white, I think the outcome would have been different. And the person looked at me and said, well, that is discrimination because I never focused on it. I never thought about it. And I still don't today. But have you experienced discrimination? And if you did, if you have, how did you handle it? And how does that change? And maybe how you look at certain people. Or does it?
Or does it?
No, it really doesn't. And I mean, I have a number of examples of discrimination, and I'll share one. Is that when I was in high school, the tradition was to at prom to
Hmm.
have waiters and waitresses, and you were selected by your classmates, and I was selected as a prom waiter. The There was a little problem, and the problem
Uh-oh.
was is that they did not elect a black prom waitress, and so the discussion in the community and white authorities to be was, what are we going to do about the couples dance? And basically we had a meeting with the principal, and uh, they were trying to come up with a solution um, that would be acceptable in the community. And and I was a part of those discussions, but I clearly knew that there was a problem, and that discrimination was driving that. So that the solution they came up with was, well, this year we're not going to have couples can dance.
Oh,
The men,
wow.
the guys will have a separate dance, and the girls will have their separate dance, and only the king and queen will do a couples dance.
Wow.
So it is what it was. Once again, because of my upbringing, I did not take it
So how did
personal.
that make
So how did
I
that make you feel?
I understood what it was, but I
and how is
And
still
that
how is
not
that not
personal?
personal?
it was personal. But basically, once I went back home, uh, it uh, uh, it didn't define who I was, and
Mm,
because the
mm.
system did not want to allow me to dance with a white girl, still did not define who I was, and that I was still a very special, very important person. And that was what my parents actually kept in front of me. Another experience was once again, this was early in with uh, integration. Uh, Basically, the uh, NAACP and the Black Establishment was trying to uh, make a point, and they decided that all the blacks would boycott school, and until this was resolved. Well, once again, my parents took a position that
Mm,
no,
mm,
you're going to go to school because this is what the system wants. It wants you not to get your education, learn to write, read, and so that you can progress. So their opinion was that I needed to be in school, and by boycotting, it may have sent a message, but it hurt me as an individual. And so
mm, mm.
during that 6 8 week period that blacks weren't in school, I was the only black in the school. Had to have my bus escorted by the sheriff department back and forth. Basically, the black community was not very happy with me because they felt that by me being in school, that prolonged the process of getting some action.
Mm,
Um,
mm.
and once again, back at home, my parents clearly helped me understood that education was very important, and that it wasn't sufficient for me to boycott, and that I wasn't in school because I was black or not being white, but because education was being afforded. And after about 8 weeks, a few other blacks started coming back to school, and the issue really wasn't resolved until really everyone got back into school.
All
So
right. Well, we've
that's
got to take a
why
break.
I say that.
We've got to take a break. But go ahead with your last thought, Mark. Cut that,
I said that's why
and then I'll go
I
back in. Go ahead.
Go back in. Go ahead.
that's why I said that my experience I dedicated to my parents because basically even in the midst of discrimination, they made great sense and helped me understand who I was and to stay focused.
All right. Well, we got to
All
take a
right. Well,
break.
we got
Don't
to
go
take a
anywhere.
break.
Don't
Don't
touch
go
that
anywhere. Don't
dial.
touch that dial.
We are
We
talking
are
Black
talking Black
history with
history
Dr.
with
Alvin
Dr.
Jackson.
Alvin
Don't touch
Jackson.
that
Don't touch that
dial. Come
dial.
back. Come
Come
back.
back.
Come
Come
back.
back. Come back.
Make us proud, cause you're royalty.
Mark, I think I
Mark, I
told
think
him
I
don't
told
touch
him
that
don't
dial
touch that dial
twice.
twice
Or come
or
back
come back
twice.
twice.
Okay.
Did I? Can
Did
you
I?
cut it
Can
or
you
do you
cut
want
it
me
or
to
do you
do it
want me to
again?
do it again?
I'll go through it after.
Okay. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you.
All right. We'll
All
go
right,
back
we'll
in.
go back in.
Do you want just do one break?
We
We
can. Are
can.
we
Are
good
we
on
good
time?
on time?
Because we got about you'll have about 8 minutes right now.
That's all I got
That's all I
left?
got
Yeah, we'll
left. Yeah,
just do
we'll
one
just do
break.
one break.
I want to
I want
close
to
out
close
with
out with
a different song because
a
my
different song
anniversary
because
is
my
Monday.
anniversary is Monday.
So
So
let me find it.
let me find it.
What is the
What is the
song I'm
song
gonna
I'm
use?
gonna use?
Is
It
called
is called
um
um
Anything for You
Anything for
by
You
Lettucey.
by Lettucey.
Ledisi.
Ledisi.
That's just gonna be
That's
when I
just gonna
close
be
out
when I
so I can
close
say
out so I
happy
can say
anniversary
happy
to my husband.
anniversary to my husband.
Okay.
Right.
Right.
And I think
And I
it's
think it's
the
the
yeah, that's
yeah,
fine. It
that's
doesn't
fine.
have
It
to have
doesn't
any
have to have
words
any
to it.
words to it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, we'll go
All right,
back
we'll
in
go
and
back in and
we'll do the
we'll do the
blackety black
blackety
black
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 black black
thing, and
thing,
I'll
and
thank
I'll
my
thank my
sponsor, and then
sponsor,
I'll
and
get
then
to
I'll get
Dr.
to
Alvin.
Dr. Alvin.
Welcome back to
Welcome
Today
back
with
to
Pastor
Today with
Jay. We'll
Pastor
give
Jay.
a
We'll
thank
give a
you and a
thank you
shout
and a
out to
shout out to
Steve
Steve
Verrier,
Verrier,
TheFloridaMortgageCenter.com for
TheFloridaMortgageCenter.com for
sponsoring the
sponsoring the
show.
show.
Woo!
Woo!
Thank God
Thank
I'm
God
black.
I'm
And
black.
I
And I
have in the
have in the
studio
studio
the first black city manager for the city of Bunnell, Dr. Alvin Jackson. Dr. Jackson, what does that feel like? Can you believe we're still in the days like the first black? I don't even think about it. I
I
mean, it's
mean,
just why are we still first black, first black, first Spanish, first whatever? I thought we'd be past that by now.
Uh, well, I'm like you. I don't think about it. I mean, until someone mentions it, and I say, oh,
Hmm.
that's the case. But that wasn't necessarily significant to me. Not that it's not important, because I think
Right.
it's good to have blacks serve in positions that they can influence change, and basically each one of us, I bring a different perspective to my job, and and I can tell you the black experience is a part of that. I think I'm uh, sensitive to the needs that exist in minority communities. I'm always concerned about our young people. I'm concerned about the lack of jobs for minorities. I mean, I grew up in Lake County, where citrus was the predominant area of employment, and I vowed that I wasn't going to work in the citrus, and went to college. And uh, one of the greatest things in the world is that I had the opportunity to come back to my community in Lake County, Eustis, where I grew up, and ended up being the economic development director and the deputy county administrator, where I could actually influence or have an impact on jobs and creating opportunities for minorities, in particular black males in the county.
Nice. Do you have any Black history heroes or anyone
Uh,
that may have had influence in your life?
well, I always like to give my greatest hero was my father. He was my greatest example because I saw him every day. The life that he lived, the life of humility, the life of giving, being concerned about humanity. Um, and even in my book, pretty much I say that he personified uh, the life of service, and that's what I'm dedicated to, is serving humanity and really touching the lives of people and making a difference. So Bishop Noah Nothing was his given name, and that's who I really shout out to as being my number one hero.
Nice. That is super cool. I heard you the other day at
To
Future
Noah
Flagler.
Nothing. Hmm.
Yeah. And I was like, look at Dr. Jackson. You were talking about how you're gonna make the city of Bunnell the best small city in the country.
We are on our way.
What kind of things do you think you can bring to Bunnell to make it that?
Well, we are addressing a number of our deficiencies, and as we address those, we have a lot of land, over 89,000 acres, and that gives us a lot of opportunities. And I see us being a very diverse, economically diverse city, with manufacturing, warehousing, distribution, quality residential housing. It's a diverse community in race and ethnicity, uh, and that's what makes a community great. And that's the type of community individuals are looking at living in. It's we want to offer a high quality of life, small, uh, one where you do know your neighbors, one where there is not a lot of traffic, one where you do have a voice in government. Uh, that's what makes a dynamic a community, and that's what we're working towards. Lower crime rates, just community that individuals feel very comfortable living and working and playing in.
If you had some final thoughts, just to tell people how to promote racial unity within their own communities, their schools, or their job, what would they be?
I think it starts within the individual. First, you have to love yourself, be at peace with yourself, uh, in order for you to be at peace with others and love others. It starts with you. And I think many of us need to walk in others' shoes, basically, before we judge them, and always look for an opportunity to touch somebody else's life and make a difference and make their lives much more pleasing. It's not about me, it's about you. And so that's what my advice is all about.
Nice. Well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. It's been great. And I tell you, every time I see you, you always have a smile on your face. When I call you, you always say it's a great day. Where did you get your great day from?
Well, probably about 30, almost 40 years ago, uh, as I was developing my personal philosophy, um, uh, through Robert Greenleaf and Norman Vincent Peale, the Bishop, I developed that it is another great day. And you know why? Because I learned to speak the results I want into my
Hmm.
day.
Amen. Amen. Thank you so very much, Dr. Jackson. I appreciate you coming on the show and being a friend to me and to Today with Pastor Jay. All right, guys, we gotta go.
Thank
Gotta
you,
go, gotta
Dr. J.
go. You're welcome. But tomorrow is my anniversary. So I'm gonna close out.
Congratulations.
Thank you. With this, I have the most amazing husband that have ever walked the earth. He loves me for me, and he makes me a better person. So I just want to say, Mr. St. Clair Denny, I love you so much. Happy anniversary. And thank you so very much for being my priest, my friend, and outside of God, my everything. All right, guys. God bless you. You know what I say? Yesterday's gone. Tomorrow's not promised. What are you going to do today? Today, you're just going to love, love, love. But more importantly, you're going to give Jesus your heart. God bless you. Have a great
Thank
day.
you.
The impossible is possible because of you.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. I appreciate you cleaning that up. I hear the echo on this end, but you don't hear it on yours, do you?
No, that's I try to, whenever you're talking, I try to mute my side so you don't hear the echo. So that's what
I
I
saw
try
that.
to do. Yeah, that's what I try to do with the guests too.
Yeah, I just ignored it. But I did hear it. I didn't realize it was this bad. When I first started this platform, I don't remember hearing it. Because remember, I used to do my show from Atlanta.
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing it.
Hmm.
I don't know. All right. Well, thanks, Alvin. Be good.
Okay.
Take care. Have a nice black day.
She said, "Have a nice black day."
Always, every day is a great black day.
All right.
Every
I'll
day
see you
is a
next week.
great black day.
Is it? I bet it is.
Bye.
You know, I used to tell people to have a great day. I don't tell them anymore because you do it all the time. People think I'm stealing it from you. All right, Mark. Thanks again.
No problem. Take care.
All right. Bye.